going on this morning, guys? Torture device there behind me. We're gonna get out, and we're still seeding away. I've got a pretty big backyard here. I've already done his several of his neighbors earlier when I still had the ride-on, when I rented the ride-on spreader, but I gotta go to this. I had bought this thing here to do some backyards and all that I couldn't get into with a bigger aerator. But anyway, I'm gonna do a pretty big backyard here, but I did that one a couple of weeks ago, and this one right here that we're parked in front of. And we're gonna go do this one's neighbor, the backyard. I had sprayed, the backyard had a massive doveweed infestation, so I sprayed it with Shore Power, and I've waited about a month to come back in and reseed because of the longer reseed interval. I think it's like 21 days, but giving it plenty of time. But anyway, it's a big ass backyard. So I'm gonna try to show you a little bit about operating one of these torture devices too while I'm back there. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You just hang over to your life. But let's go. Well, I mean, the reason is because like homeowners and stuff, this may be more typical of what you rent and you might not be familiar with it, and so a little operational whatnot on it. So let's go. Pretty straightforward on how it operates. There's just one chain on it. You keep your chain lubed a little bit. It's got a belt on it that drives off that reduction gear over there, and you squeeze down on the bail here, and that tightens it up and engages that belt and drives it. It drives the drum and it drives those tines. And this is a lift handle. You can, you hit the handle to lift it to roll it. And cranking's pretty much like any small engine. You'll turn the power switch on, which is right there. Choke, pull it, crank it, unchoke it, and then you use that throttle to control how fast you want to walk or run behind this thing. All right, so this has got a few weeks on it. This is the neighbor's yard, and it goes way back there, but he had a huge spot here that was wiped out by army worms, but it looks like it's coming back in. And this is the target for today. So he had tremendous patches of doveweed out here, and the Shore Guard freaking waxed it. I'm impressed. Then he's got some good areas of grass going back here, way over there. But this is a big yard to do with walk behind aerator, so if y'all want to come help, come on. I don't know if you can hear me over the aerator running, but this is a yard, and that's another yard on the other side that we seeded a few weeks ago. In the process of seeding this big boy here. We'll show you real quick how to do a turnaround with this thing, and how just fast. Where's this aerator? I'm going to leave the drum engaged and pick the back tines up with the lever, and with the drum spinning, it's just easier to turn. I got all my holes poked. I mean, it's a lot more laborious process with the walk behind aerator, but the end result's the same. You get a bunch of holes poked in the ground. And I put about 400 pounds of the old Triple Threat Plus out on this and sprayed my Heron pop-up fertilizer on it with the permagreen. So on to the next one. I'm gonna go get me something to eat first. Worked it all off. Walking behind the aerator. Got it all put full of holes, got seed down. Boy, there was a lot of doveweed up here. It was bare. More grass was in between there. Oh boy. All right, let's see what this does. I must have hit a water buffalo up the street. How am I have to get out of here? Oh, I guess they turned the fire hydrant out up there. I mean, while we're here, this is the neighbor's yard, the front. Did this one. It's doing okay. We'll be able to get on it and fertilize it here probably in the next week or two. And then probably before Thanksgiving, we'll come back and do a little weed control. We'll get on the permagreen and ride down to the one behind it here that we also did. Just check up on these seeding jobs we did a couple weeks ago. This is the other neighbor. We got his seeded. He's ready to mow this. He can go ahead and mow it. It's wet though. I think he's running too much. He can back the water down and go ahead and get it mowed. I'd bag it if I were him mowing it at this tall and out of unkempt as it is. Let's check out the back. The back looks pretty much on time, on target. Needs to be mowed. And then this is the other one that we were looking at the back from the other side. Wood is wet back here. Sorry for all the bouncing and walking. Walking down the hill here, people. And this is the other one. And then the one we were just seeding is on that side. So we got that one, this one, and this one. So this one had the army worm damage. Seed's coming up okay over here. A little over 2 weeks on it right now. So keep eye on it. We'll come back, throw some fertilizer on it when I get back from GIE. Then probably right before Thanksgiving, we'll be able to start doing some weed control on them. It's kind of just a dead stretch. Still see some seed laying in it though. Get a little rain, let's see what happens. Oh, that looks pretty good, on target. And like under these trees, when I overseeded, it was very bare. He's always going to struggle unless he cuts these bottom branches off of these trees, which I told him to do 5 times now. Let's see when that happens. And while I'm here, I got, well, you can see that house along the other side. Well, I can't do it. The other side of that house, I did too. We're gonna hop on the permagreen and ride down there and see what our progress looks like on that. Stand by. This one right here, it didn't need a whole lot. We get this one, and the one on the other side of the street was a bare dirt renovation, so we're gonna do a drive-by. This one was bare dirt. I don't know if you can hear me. This is a new customer. I smoked this one all the way down. He's going to get some more seed. But so far, not so bad. I got some computer grass that came back. I need more seed. Go ahead and put some more seed while I'm here. Got some more seed and came back up here and taking a closer look at this one. I'm definitely thinking we could probably, I need to see the irrigation run. I think we could probably chalk this up to irrigation issues missing with irrigation. That Bermuda grass in there, something else too. I had killed that, but it came back. Damn Bermuda grass. All right, let's have to spread some more seed out in it. Let's see what it does. got one more around the corner. I'm gonna ride the permagreen too, see if it needs any seed in it while I'm here. Yeah. Got some spots where I had to do a lot of doveweed killing that are a little thinner than I like, but we're seeing stuff start to sprout up. I went ahead and threw a little more seed in it. She's good to go. Something's to be said for your route density when you can ride your permagreen to 7 accounts this size and park your truck in one spot. Okay, they want me to seed this hill front from here to down there. No irrigation. It's a pretty gnarly slope. Alright, seeding, getting the aeration done, seeding this mobile home park here. Well, I guess it's a dealership, not a park. Got this trailer park aerated and seeded, sprayed with the starter. It's not a trailer park, it's a trailer dealership, I guess in Chicago. Anyway, it's a beaut. All right, it's getting ready to rain, so we're gonna get this watered in. I'm out yesterday at about 5:30 in the afternoon with finishing up in the rain. I'm down to about 25 mowing accounts I have left, maybe less than that at this point, because I hadn't cranked up a lawnmower in a month since we started seeding fescue. But some of those folks are starting to make some noise. A lot of those yards are fescue, so I've had an excuse not to be on them, but some of them aren't fescue too. But anyway, I'm gonna get a little mowing done here. This is the first mow I've put on this one since I overseeded it. And while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and get that first round of fertilizer on it. We're looking like after we got a mow down on it. Looking pretty decent. Ow, I just poked myself in the eye. The irrigation here is jacked up and there ain't nothing I can do about it, and it's very frustrating. The well runs out, so I've got spots where I don't have as good a germination and things are starting to dry out, like right here with all this sun exposure. And I mean, I could keep throwing seed into it, but it ain't gonna do any good. If it'll rain on it, there's enough seed in it, it'll come up. But I'm gonna keep moving forward and go ahead and put this first round of fertilizer on. I think this grass has been in for about 3 weeks now. All right, let's check out what I'm gonna use this time for fertilizer. Okay, this is my general all-purpose, almost any situation go-to fertilizer here. And I get this made, I think y'all seen it a million times. This is what I call the DX8, the ding dang double dark doo-doo dominating fertilizer, whatever, however many D's that is. But this is an 1808, and the 18 is split between 2 different nitrogen sources. I've got half ammonium sulfate and half of a slow release urea, an XCU. That's a sulfur coated poly wrapped urea, and that's just got a actual physical shell around the urea prill that slowly breaks down and releases that urea. And the ammonium sulfate in it is almost immediately plant available. As soon as the water hits it, it's gonna go right in. So, and the zero is 0, but there probably actually is a little phosphorus in here because of the biosolids. All manures are gonna have a little bit of a phosphorus analysis to them. And the 8 is sulfate of potash, and it's got 5% iron. And as I mentioned, the biosolids, whatever room is left over in the blend when they get my ammonium sulfate, sulfate of potash, and XCU and the iron in there, I have them fill out the rest of it with biosolids. And that's usually about 400 pounds of biosolids a ton, so whatever percentage that is. So I'll get out with this. I'm get on the soapbox again for a minute, like I did the last time I held up one of these bags. I've been having this made for years, and the price has in the last several months gone way the hell up. So, I mean, to a dude who just spreads a couple, but well, I mean, you may say to yourself, you know, I don't sling fertilizer for a living, so that going up that little bit isn't going to mean that much to me to put on my yard a couple times a year. Well, where it's going to mean something to everybody is in the grocery store. So just keep that in mind. This is unsustainable at the rate this is going up. This is almost double what it was last year. And that sucks double. Stuff's falling on me now. All right, but I'm not gonna use this on this is my general all-purpose go-to for almost any situation fertilizer, like I said. But I'm gonna follow up most of my fescue. I hadn't gone to pick it up yet. I had a few tons of ammonium sulfate with 3% iron made, and that has not taken as big a giant price increase, but that's going to end up being like a 2000, but 3% iron, all ammonium sulfate. So most of the fescue yards on this next round are going to be getting that all ammonium sulfate with 3% iron, not the multi-purpose DX8. Multi-purpose, almost any situation for whatever the hell I just said. But anyway, I love this stuff. This is banging. This served me well. But you know, I want to get it out on this and go to it. Here's some DX8 hanging out in the permagreen. Try to show you what's what best I can. That's a XCU. That's that coated urea prill. These little black things are biosolids. Biosolids are what they are, is a byproduct made by sewage sludge from water, you know, municipal water treatment plants. And I think these in particular come from Winston-Salem. There's your ammonium sulfate, brownie looking things in there. Some of them, it's hard to just pick out the ammonium sulfate from the sulfate of potash, but they are, and I don't know what the iron would look like in there either. It smells like hell too. All right, let's get it back. So we got this thing all juiced up, got the DX8 on it. As far as what we're seeing, you know, right now at this point in most of these lawns, the ones that we got to go back to and see yesterday and today, few spots not germinating right now, or not germinating as much as others, and that's generally due to irrigation coverage and everything I'm seeing. So patience would be a virtue here. I mean, you don't really have to worry about going back and throwing seed into these areas immediately. Give it some time with some natural rain and you should see some of it germinate. But in some cases I've gone ahead and thrown some more seed into some of the areas just to be on the safe side. But you know, right now at the point we're in most of these, I've got just a few left to hit to do the initial aeration and seeding on, and we'll go to wrap it up, and we'll definitely start full bore into going back and looking at the ones that we've already done and seeing if we need to add more seed, tweak irrigation, more fertilizer. But I'm definitely gonna, in that process, I'm definitely gonna be throwing down a granular, higher nitrogen fertilizer, and I've pretty much decided on what I'm gonna do on 99% of them is just straight ammonium sulfate with a little iron mixed in with it. And we'll keep an eye on them, start looking on toward into the Thanksgiving time frame, weed control, another round of fertilizer, whatever we seem to be needing at that point. All right, well, that's about it on the fescue updates for this week. Also next week, don't forget the GIE in Louisville, Kentucky. So if you can make it to the GIE, I'll be at the Permagreen booth. Please come by and say hey. I think Permagreen's planning some cool stuff. We might make a video where we get Permagreen owners to talk about their Permagreen experience. You'll make it into a PPC Total Turf Permagreen experience video. All right, well, I hope to see y'all at the GIE. That was a pine cone. Hope to see y'all at the GIE. Till next week, man. We'll do some chronicling of my travels to the GIE and all that fun stuff, and we'll try to keep some updates on what we got going on there. Check y'all out next time. Thanks. Gonna macho this fescue video up a little bit. Came home and did a little mowing for the first time in a few weeks on the Bermuda grass here, and to be honest, Bermuda has been kind of lackluster all season, and right now here it is nearing the end of October, and this stuff's looking pretty strong. There's the neighbors, the wedding yard. It's this is mostly common, where mine is mostly Monaco, and you can see it's not holding the color quite as good into this cooler weather, and it's starting to thin out and play out. You see the what they call it, the domination line. But it's, I mean, this still looks pretty all right too. But there you go, one last look at some macho Bermuda, and we're probably down to the last weeks of this Bermuda grass here. It's probably going to go dormant or get that tiger striping in it here pretty soon. All the little brown spots in it are for where I just mowed it, actually, because it was kind of tall, because I ain't mowed it in 3 weeks. All right, there's your bonus Bermuda.